League.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to FPRL Fair Play Racing League. Tonight we are seeing the Tier 2s going around the Marina Bay Street Circuit in Singapore. And this is the last race of race week 16. We're getting very close now towards the end of the season, to the last quarter now. And as we can see, we've just got the one qualifying session tonight, as there's only 15 drivers on the grid, and it is pouring with rain at the moment, so this could really spice things up for quali. We'll just quickly introduce ourselves as normal, like we do at the start. I'm the main commentator, Monkey Boy Kurt, and alongside me again tonight, it's Revengezilla. How are we, mate?
Hello. It is absolutely throwing it down, and I'm excited for this one because we know what happens with the wet. Anything can happen. We're kind of used to having our main at the front of qualifying and mag user taint delay groundsy, but anything can happen. It's a notoriously difficult circuit, Marina Bay, but this rain is going to make it just that little bit harder.
Yeah, and I have to say, normally, probably like most people, especially when they do practice in time trial, most people just really practice in the dry. Not a lot of practice goes into the wet conditions, so I think we're in for a really good qualifying session here. Potentially some drivers might try that bit too hard and unfortunately bin it as well. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, like I say, only 15 drivers tonight, so it's just the one session these guys are going to get. So they're going to have to try and put in their best, really, as soon as they can, because we don't know yet, also Zero, if the rain's going to get worse or even maybe it's going to dry up.
Yeah, well, just based off how many people are already out on track, I think there's a good chance this weather may be getting a little bit worse, and people are hoping that earlier on in the session is going to be the best of the conditions. I mean, straight away we got drivers such as Taint Delay, no messing about at all. He's nearly round to start the first lap of the qualifying session. You did touch on the fact that we are on a short qualifying tonight, so there really is no margin for error, as everyone is going to get a free choice of tyre at the start of the race. So it is going to be a matter of how many runs people can get in, and especially how difficult this track is in terms of track limits. Losing a lap round here in the wet is, it's going to be well over 2 minutes of time missing from your qualifying session. So Taint Delay, I think, doing the right thing and getting out early.
Yeah, as you ride now on board with that man Taint Delay in his Alpha Tauri, and I think just quickly we've got
Tiddlywinks down the escape road.
He's gone a bit too wide on the outlap, so he's going to have to turn that round. Hopefully he does not reset.
40-point turn.
He's doing a Ragga Nathan here. But yeah, so we'll go back to his teammate, which is Taint Delay, setting the first lap of the session. Then I don't know. I think it might just be me, but I think this rain's coming down a bit harder since they came out on the outlap. But as we go through the middle part of a lap, then this is one of the trickiest bits of the lap, even in the dry. So in the wet, it's going to be even more tricky to keep it together and not lose that back end as we now come now. Oh, and look at the understeer and oversteer, just losing the back end there. Just a little bit on the accelerator, and that can throw you in all sorts of directions, and especially being a street circuit with the barriers surrounding the track. You've got to be very careful here. The split times are 1:16.1. We've not really got an idea really of what's a good time, because the last two races that we've had in Tier 3 and Tier 1 have both been dry, so we're just going to have to see how the drivers do here, and then eventually we should get an idea. But as Taint Delay now comes round the final stages of the lap, he's got 3 more corners to negotiate. First this right-hander, then the left, and then he's got the final left-hander, double left-hander I should say, to come up. Doesn't want to lose it through the last corner, because you can invalidate both laps. He's round, and it's a 1:55.6 to start things off. Did lose it a couple of times on that lap, so I expect that will be beaten by other drivers as they come through.
Yeah, I've had a little bit of trouble up ahead. Scotsman's dropped it in the... I don't know, it's not called the Singapore Sling anymore, I know, but he's currently doing a Ragga Nathan on the bridge. Luckily, we do have ghosting on for tonight, and he's just about managed to squirm his way back through. as you say, that Groundsy and Mag user quickly improve and set the benchmark now into the 153s. I did just want to quickly drop a little bit of the championship standings in whilst we're at the relatively early stages of qualifying. Obviously, we know that Mag user is clear of the rest by 29 points, and importantly, his main contender and rival in this championship is Henkers, and he is not with us tonight. So Groundsy and Taint Delate are going to be looking to make ground on Mag user's championship lead. Both of those drivers are 46 and 69 points behind respectively, so they're going to be hoping for a cheeky little Mag user DNF with a Groundsy win, I think.
I would definitely agree with that there, Zilla. It's looking like, we've got a few drivers obviously coming through and validating in Rise, Hiddlewink, Cruiser and Twins have all gone round once and invalidated, and that can also be a problem here as well, especially in the wet. You invalidate, ruin those tyres, and it can potentially ruin you for the rest of the session. They'll have to try and get round again, maybe use a second set to have another chance. Oh, and Twins getting a bit out of shape there, coming through the end of the first sector. As we got anyone else coming up now? I think Fish Sticks is... Sorry,
Dobby's just coming around to set up P5-7. That slots him into P5, and I think it's going to be a case of just learning the track at the moment and getting used to the conditions. Obviously 11 minutes left of the session, and we've still got half the field yet to set a lap, whether some of those are down to invalidations, some are down to accidents on the lap, as Groundsy sets an improvement of a second on his previous time, and
Mag user
has done a Snedden.
Oh, he's the first one to bin it in these tough conditions, but he has put in that 53.8, so it's at the moment looking like a good time anyway, but we'll see if anyone can go ahead of him other than Groundsy. Yeah,
as we say, that Rise is the next of our drivers in the Williams to get through into the 1 minute 59s. So the times are definitely coming down. I assume a lot of these drivers, by the looks of it, are fueled for quite a few laps, and maybe going to look to do just 2 different tyre sets in this qualifying session. As we see both Rise, Taint Delate and Groundsy all improving on a second lap.
Yeah, that's it. So it's just now Scotsman who's come into the pits. So Cruiser just set a lap there, 156.3. He'll want to improve on that and go around again, or maybe get another set. So Cross Kerry is the last person then to set a time other than Scotsman, who's now come out. Oh, he's lost his front wing, so he will be back into the pits, no doubt. Will Cross Kerry. But yeah, it looks like then there's the potential here after those first laps that have gone through now. There is potential for low 53s and even possibly a 52 if some of them can put the right lap together. So I would say everyone really from about probably Ginny Vane downwards has probably got a bit more in them if they can just get used to the conditions in time. Like I say, we've only got 9 minutes left, so it's all or nothing really. We've only having the one session. I've got someone else off. I think this Cruiser's gone. Yeah, some of them find it quite difficult out there.
Yeah, I think quick shout out to Twins at the minute. He's definitely come into a bit of a late runner form at the end, or the latter end of this season, and up in P5 at the minute with a 54.3. I'm sure, as you said, a lot of drivers here are set to make improvements as they get used to the track, as TJ has a little half spin but manages to catch it before T-boning the wall. But I don't know about you, Monkey, but this rain is looking very heavy.
Yeah,
heavier than it was.
Yeah, this is what I was saying at the start as well. I don't know if it's hard to tell really without any information, but it's oh, and Taint Delate's just knocked the wall there, it's half spun. But yeah, I don't know. It looks like, I mean, it probably is staying the same, and we'll soon see with the times that start coming through. As we now run on board with one of the guys that hasn't set a time yet. He's just going out now to start his final laps. FPRL Scotsman will follow him around then as he goes around. First into turn 1, quite tentative through there. Now turn 2 and turn 3. It's very difficult out there. You can see just by the speed they're having to take through these corners. Now we're coming up to this tough, quick right-hander in the dry, and even more quicker and difficult in the wet. You can easily lose the back end in the dry there, but if you come now down one of the DRS zones, down this straight then towards the end of Sector 1, he's under 30.9. Now throwing it into one of the slowest corners now on the track, this right-hander here, get on the brakes, throw it round, and brake around the 50-metre board towards this next left-hander. Now we're coming to the old Singapore Sling section of the circuit. Very difficult. This is going to be in the way. It's going to brake around for 75 metres, throws it into the left. Now it's quickly back to the right, and I think he's got, is it TJ up in front of him, who's also on a flying lap, so doesn't want to get impeded.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair game here. TJ's on a fast lap as well.
Yeah, no, that's fit. That's it. As he
2
comes
cents
now
up
down.
is TJ.
As Scotsman puts in a 1:15.5 for that second sector. Very slidey as he comes out. Now it's this twisty left to right section of sector 3. First right there, then left. Now we've got another left right under the little bridge here, under the little grandstand I should say. And now it's right left again towards the end of the lap. Scotsman then, no invalidation yet, which is good, so we will get a time on the board providing he can get through this last corner correctly. Yeah, he's done that well, comes through, and it's a 1:55.1, puts Scotsman up into 7th place. It's not too bad a time there.
Yeah, I think Scotsman throughout this season has been really struggling, especially in the qualifying. Normally has a bit more in terms of race pace, but it will be important to point out that he does have form round here. He's previous winner of Singapore in Tier 2 last season, so they'll be looking to replicate that later on today. I think he will have a lot more pace in the dry, and as I just said, he is normally one that is a lot faster in race pace than he is in qualifying, so if he can maybe make a bit more of an improvement on that time and see himself fly up the grid order, he's definitely going to be one to look out for come the race.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Obviously, you say, winner here last season, we remember it for his iconic celebration of jumping into his hot tub. It was a great hit with us lads and also the Twitter viewers, as Groundsy goes even quicker with a 1:53.0. So there we go, there's his potential there if you can get used to the conditions, have the right setup. We now run on board with Cross Carrier, who is the final driver then to set a time. He's done a 1:15.3 through the second sector, which is 2 tenths up on Scotsman, so potentially he's going to go ahead of him here into 7th place. If he has a good last sector, he could even potentially go even higher. Cruiser in the chat saying not sure how much more he's got down in 13th. He'll be wanting to hopefully improve a little bit more from his position there, as everyone's going to have a free set of tyres. So it's not like if you've qualified outside the top 10, you're the only ones to get a free choice. As Cross Kerry, a bit loose there as he comes out of the second to last corner. But he comes around now, it's going to be in the 54s I think. Yeah, it's a 54.9, and he leapfrogs Scotsman up in 7th place.
Yeah, I'm sort of having a look at what drivers I think realistically can challenge Groundsy for this pole now, and I was going to say one of them is Tate Delate, but he's just had a massive moment coming out the final corner to start his hot lap, so he's already going to be a couple of tenths down by the time he even gets to turn 1, and there he is losing the back end again as he tries to flick it into turn 3. I think this is going to be a case of saving that ERS for Tate Delate this lap and going for another push.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I don't know if you saw that just then, Zilla. Oh, and Dobby has binned it.
He's out.
Quickly, I didn't know if you saw that, Zilla, but Rise has left the session, so if we can get a invite to him. And so's Groundsy now as well. Groundsy has left the session as well. Get invites to those two, try and get them in so they can have one more flying lap before this session ends. So we've only got about 3.5 minutes left. We'll go back on board then with Tate Delate, who's on a flying lap. And as he now comes towards a Singapore Sling section of the circuit, we'll see soon if he's up or down on his 53.8 time. I think he's let off. I think he knows he's down on this lap.
David is asking if you've got your bit rate up to the max. I don't know for what reason, but It looks.
No, the bit
I'm on the stream and it looks good to me.
Okay, Kate
I'm not
Groundsy
sure.
is joined. I'll have a quick look.
Hopefully, Rise can get tense. He is just coming around the first sector now to start his second lap on these tyres.
Yeah. No, I'll just confirm to David who's asking that the bit rate is not to the max. I know the max is 6,500, it's at 447. So I might have to, if it continues to be a problem, if the viewers or anyone can let us know, I might have to have a little pause, maybe turn it down a little bit, but it's not at the max. But as we continue then, we've got everyone now coming on to their final laps then. Everyone is either on hot laps or out laps apart from Groundsy, who I don't think now is going to get out of the pits in time. So he will just be hoping that no one can better that 53.0, but he's 8 tenths ahead of everyone else. So he's got quite a bit of leeway. And obviously Mag User can't go any faster because he's binned it. So it'll be down to Taint Delay, Ginny Vane and Rise, who are the nearest ones to try and battle for that pole position, but I think it might already be. I think it all might already be Groundsy's with the time so fast in front of everyone else.
Yeah, I think we're going to struggle to see any of these drivers really make a dent into that gap that Groundsy has set at the top. I mean, Groundsy is currently sat in the pits. That he is done for qualifying, and it is just a case of can anyone get close. Johnny Vane come round, he has managed a 53.6, but again, it's only an improvement of 3 tenths, and I say only 3 tenths, that does sound like a lot, but it's still 6 tenths away from Groundsy's 53.0, and I think with Taint Delay only being half a tenth up, and as I say, that Taint Delay is in the wall, and I think that is going to be part of his front wing missing, and that is going to be him done for qualifying. He does have Rise in behind him on an outlap, so Rise will be the last person to come round and finish off qualifying, so we'll keep an eye on him towards the end of this session. It looks like everyone else on circuit at the minute is on a hot lap. The next person to come round is going to be Tiddlywink.
Oh, okay, and Taint Delay has decided to continue. Yeah, well, okay, didn't decide to come in the pits, decided to go across the line, but that is qualifying done for him. Probably waiting until the timer ran out there. David's in the chat, fish sticks equals massive fraud apparently. Well, that's coming from David, not from me, so, but I have to say at the moment, I have to really agree with it at the moment on 7 lap old Inters. But
got Tiddlywink coming round. He is quickly going to be followed by the 2 Ferraris. The Aston Martin in between the Ferraris has invalidated, so we'll stick on board with Tiddlywink just based off his delta in the top right. He's already at 1 minute 50, so I don't think we're going to see an improvement, but the next driver up is Cruiser, and it looks like he's on a pretty decent one. His best so far is a 156.3, so we'll see what he brings
Definitely
over
better.
the line. Yeah, it's a 55.0, and that takes him into the top 10. He's going to be quickly followed by Scotsman, who also looks like he's on a decent lap. He gets into the 54s, it's a 54.3. And
validated though.
is invalidated. Never mind. So next across the line is TJM. He's not on a lap. Croskery. No, it was Johnny Vane. And Twins goes up into
fantastic.
P2, improves and goes ahead of Johnny Vane by 0.02 of a second, and crucially knocks Mag User, the championship leader, down into P4. I said the last man across the line is going to be Rise. Just in front of him is going to be Silverside Boy. We'll go on board with him. He goes up to P8 with a 54.5. I'm sure he'll be happy with that given the circumstances, but the last driver across the line is Rise. He gets a decent exit out of the final corner, and it's enough for P2. It's a 53.2 from Rise, and that's your front row then. It's going to be Groundsy and Rise on the front row, and that is going to move Mag User, I believe, down to P5. So he's going to be right in the middle of the pack come the start of the race, and that's not what you want if you're leading the championship and you're just wanting to get a good haul of points with a nice clean race.
No, yeah, and well, yeah, what a great end to that session. A lot of people improving on their final runs, because we saw Maggies was second before all of that. He's dropped down to fifth, like Zidler has said. But yep, quickly we'll go through the top 10 men. So Groundsy takes pole with Rise in second. Twins, a great lap from him, third. It's Ginny Vane fourth. Maggies a fifth. Taint Delate sixth. Cross Curry gets seventh. Silverside Boy eighth, and then Tiddlywink and Cruiser round out the top 10. So then, the question is now, is it going to be a wet race or is it going to be a dry race? We will shortly find out.
I believe it's going to be dry. It is dry. At least the start is anyway. Right, so whilst we're waiting on the grid, if the chat could let us know their predicted podium in order, first, second and third, that would be great. And we'll have a look at what everyone's thinking. Obviously, everyone's got free choice of tyre, so really we should see a lot of different strategies going on across the grid. It looks like provisionally no one is going on the softs, but we'll see what happens in a moment as people start deciding their strategy. But yeah, as I said, anyone watching in the chat, if you could let us know who you think will be on the podium.
Yeah, I have to say, oh, okay, he's telling me to check the comms chat. Here's TJ. Do you want? I think at this point.
I think running with 13 is
quali.
going to be... Yeah, I think it's got to be done, isn't it?
Yeah, I think... We've had a short quali, haven't we?
Do you want to let them know?
I think we're going to call it if we can't get them in. Yeah.
If you guys are in the chat, anyone racing, we are going to do a lobby restart. We're going to try and get these guys back in. Everyone else, I'm sure Monkey Boy will let everyone know in the Tier 2 Members Lounge.
Yeah, we're going to do that now then, guys. So, confirming that, we're going to restart that. So, I will put it now in the chat. Hold on. Right then, I guess this could be a good time to maybe look at that bit rate, actually. So, so yeah, we're going to do a quick lobby restart. So, we're going to quickly just pause the stream for a sec. So we'll be hopefully back in hopefully not too much time, around 5-10 minutes or so. But yeah, the race will be getting started shortly once we've done our quick lobby restart. So yeah, hopefully we will see you there for the start of the race.